Today we are going to discuss about histograms. Frequency tells us the number of times something occurs. A frequency distribution table is a tally table that shows how many times a particular observation occurs in the data. We group data in a frequency distribution table so that we are easily able to make observations and inferences by looking at the data in them. Frequency distribution tables. Suppose we want to organize the heights of the students of a school in a table. Since the data is very large, the table drawn to represent the heights will be very large. It is difficult to manage and interrupt such a large table. Therefore, we group the data in a frequency distribution table. The difference between the highest value and the least value is known as the range of the data set. For example, if the highest value and the least value are 98 and 36 respectively, the difference between them 98 minus 36 equal to 62. Hence, the range for this data is 62. For this data, we would have 62 different values. To decrease the size of the data set, we can group the data in groups such that 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60 and so on. These groups are known as class intervals, where the left hand value of each class is the lower limit and the right hand value is the upper limit. The difference between the class limits is known as the class size or width. In the class interval 0 to 10, the lower class limit is 0, which is inclusive within 0 to 10, and the upper class limit is 10. Similarly, in the class interval 15 to 20, the lower class limit is 15 and the upper class limit is 20. The difference between the upper class limit and the lower class limit for each class interval is as follows. 10 to 0 is 10, 20 to 10 is 10, 30 to 20 is 10. The class interval in a frequency table is always equal for all the classes. This difference between the upper class limit and the lower class limit is called the class size or width of the class interval. Example: draw a grouped frequency distribution table for the data. The range of the data is 55 minus 2 equal to 53. Since the least value is 2 and the highest value is 55, the data can be grouped into 6 groups with a class interval of 10 as 53 divided by 10 equal to 5.3, or 11 groups with a class interval of 5 as 53 divided by 5 equal to 10.6. We make the groups as 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 and so on till 50 to 60. In the class interval of 0 to 10, there are 6 frequency, and the class interval of 10 to 20, there are 5 frequency, and in the class interval of 20 to 30, there are 1 frequency, and in the class interval of 30 to 40, there are 3 frequency, and in the class interval of 40 to 50, there are 4 frequency, and in the class interval of 50 to 60, there are 2 frequency. This data can also be grouped in fives, but grouping it in tens avoids the more rows. Histograms. A histogram is a bar graph that shows the frequency of data values in intervals of the same size. The height of a bar represents the frequency of the values in the interval. A histogram should have a title that describes the information contained in the histogram, a horizontal axis with a label to show the scale of values into which the data fits, grouped data interval, a vertical axis with a label to show the number of times the data within the interval occurs. Adjacent bars, that is, there is no gap between the bars unless the value is 0. If the class intervals of the graph do not start with 0, then we put a broken line in the beginning of the horizontal axis. This indicates that the data represented on the x-axis does not start from 0. The frequency table shows the number of questions that each student solved in the class. To display the data in a histogram, we need to follow the steps. Step 1. Draw the x-axis and y-axis and label them. Step 2. Draw a bar to represent the frequency of each interval. Here is the histogram of the given data. Drawing a histogram when a class intervals are not continuous. If the given class intervals are in a discontinuous form and we draw a histogram as it is, we will get gaps between the class intervals. However, in a histogram, the bars should be continuously placed without any gap. Therefore, we should make the class intervals continuous. For this, we need an adjustment factor as we did it in the frequency distribution table block. Adjustment factor equal to half into lower limit of a class interval minus upper limit of the next class interval. Adjustment factor is the half of the difference between the lower and the highest values. Next, difference between histograms and bar graphs. A histogram looks very similar to a bar graph, but there are definite differences between them. Histogram is the representation of the grouped data and bar graph is the representation of ungrouped data. And in the histogram, no gaps between bars, and in the bar graph, gaps between bars. For example, a histogram can show heights measured in centimeter with the intervals 140 to 150, 150 to 160 and so on. And in the bar graph may show the number of students who like a particular sport. These two figures clearly represent the difference between the histograms and the bar graphs. Example, the table lists the marks obtained by students in their mathematics test. Draw a histogram to illustrate the data. To draw the histogram, we need to first arrange the data in a grouped frequency table. The lowest mark was 22 and the highest mark was 84. Therefore, we start the first interval at 20. In this table, we group the data. In the class interval 20 to 30, there are 4 frequency, and in the class interval of 30 to 40, there are 4 frequency, and in the class interval of 40 to 50, there are 7 frequency, and in the class interval of 50 to 60, there are 11 frequencies, and in the class interval of 60 to 70, there are 10 frequencies, and in the class interval of 70 to 80, there are 7 frequencies, and in the class interval of 80 to 90, there are 5 frequencies. If we add the frequencies, you will get the number of students. And here is the histogram of the given data. Frequency polygons. Frequency polygon is another method of representing a frequency distribution table on a graph. To draw a frequency polygon, we need to draw a histogram for the continuous data. Then we mark the middle points of the top of the bars. On joining these middle points successively by a line segment, we get a polygon. This polygon is called the frequency polygon. It is customary to bring the ends of the polygon down to base level by assuming a lower class of a frequency and a higher class of frequency. Let us draw a frequency polygon for the data given in the example 2. We have already drawn a histogram for the data given. Now we will mark the midpoints of the top of the bars. And here is the histogram of the given data. Next, join every midpoint bar by a line segment. On joining the midpoints of the top of the bars of the histogram, we get a polygon, but it is not closed. To make it a closed or complete polygon, we obtain the midpoints of two assumed class intervals of 0, 0 frequency, one adjacent to the first bar on its left side and another adjacent to the last bar on its right side. These class intervals are known as imagined class intervals. On joining the midpoints of the first and last bars with the midpoints of the imagined class intervals, we can complete the polygon. To draw a frequency polygon without drawing a histogram, we need to find the midpoint of every class. We then plot these midpoints on the graph with the respective class intervals and join them. Example, draw a frequency polygon to represent the data without drawing a histogram. Mark the class intervals along the x-axis and the frequency along the y-axis. We will find the midpoint for every class interval. For the class interval 0 to 10, the midpoint is 5. And for the class interval of 10 to 20, class interval of 30 to 40, midpoint is 35. And for the class interval of 40 to 50, the midpoint is 45. We can plot the points 5, 2, 15, 10, 25, 11, 35, 7, 45, 9 on a graph paper. This is a frequency polygon for which we did not draw a histogram.